In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make the ultimate iron farm. This iron farm uses a zombie spawner plus iron golem spawning mechanics to make you not only an amazing super fast iron farm, but also give the villagers down below discounts with the zombie spawning mechanics that are special for Bedrock Edition. So if you didn't know about this, sit tight. This is going to be the best iron farm that you have ever made. Hello Minecrafters, my name is Prowl and I make Minecraft tutorials that are easy to follow and help you learn how things work while you follow along. You can also find me streaming Minecraft here on YouTube, and if you enjoy my content, help me get to 100,000 subscribers by subscribing to the channel and clicking the like button on this video right now. Now for this farm, you're going to need the following materials. You're going to need one zombie spawner, which you'll find in your world. You'll need approximately 1,474 building blocks, of which 720 blocks will be used for the platform for the golems, 9 magma blocks, 40 beds, 40 profession blocks. You'll need 2 villagers plus about 18 stacks of food to allow them to breed up to 40 villagers, 2 water buckets to make an infinite water source, 48 chests, and 28 hoppers, although for the storage you can use however much you actually really want. Also, be sure to bring yourself some lighting blocks like torches. You might want a couple ladders and some doors and whatever other decorative blocks you would like to include within the farm. So before you make your iron farm, you need to understand some basic mechanics about them. That way, if something messes up, you can fix it. If you want to change something, you can do it, and so you have a better understanding of exactly what we're doing in this tutorial. So we have a number of different things happening here, and we're going to start with the most important part here, which is actually the bed. The bed is what decides where pretty much anything happens in the iron farm. In this case here, our center bed right here has a white box around it, which is representing the area in which iron golems can spawn. Because iron golems can spawn 8 blocks in either direction from the pillow, and 6 blocks up from the pillow, and 5 blocks down from the pillow. And that gives us a shape that you see here for the iron golem spawning area. Now this is specifically around the center bed of the village, and we'll talk about exactly how to decide the center bed later, as well as what happens if the center bed changes. Next is the yellow area. The yellow area is how far away villagers can be from the beds to detect them. We need at least 1 villager within range of detecting a bed for this farm to actually work. Because when a villager detects a bed, it actually makes the area a village, and the area needs to be a village for iron golems to spawn. So in this case right here, you could be 4 blocks above or 3 blocks below the pillow. As long as the villager is standing on this block level right here, he will be able to detect and see that bed. And then the horizontal area is just fine. Now, luckily, not every single villager needs to detect the bed. Only one does, but the way we design our farm, all the villagers will be able to see the beds. And last but not least, the spawner. That's right, we are using a spawner in this farm because it is going to get us perpetual ongoing discounts without us having to do any manual labor at all. It's going to be awesome. The spawner will give discounts to villagers anywhere within this red range. This is 15 blocks out each direction from the spawner. And when we design our farm, again, we'll make sure all of our villagers are inside of this range. Now, when it comes to placing iron farms, generally, you can put them anywhere. Up in the sky, down below ground, but there's a few basic rules that you must follow. Your iron farm must be at least 96 blocks, let's round it up to 100, from the nearest villager, profession block, or bed while you make the farm. If you try to make this farm close to a village, what's probably going to happen is the center of your farm is going to be messed up and your golems aren't going to spawn in the right spot, or they will not spawn at all. Once the farm is complete, you should be able to add in other villagers, other beds, and other profession blocks without issue. Although, one disclaimer, if you have any villagers in the area that are not linked to a bed, the farm will stop working. But in our case here, that's probably not going to be happening for you because we are building this by a spawner, which means you are going to need to go underground. Now, our spawner specifically needs to be a zombie spawner. And if you don't already know where one is in your world, the easiest way to find one is to go to chunkbase.com, go to apps, go to dungeon, change it to Bedrock if you're on Bedrock. This trick will not work on Java Edition, so sorry Java peeps. Put in your seed number and then figure out like where are you at in your world, put in your coordinates. Let's say we're at 400, and then I'm going to look for the closest closest zombie spawner in the area to where I want to build my iron farm. This chart is not 100% correct. I think roughly 50% of the dungeons that are shown here are actually accurate, so you may need to check a few of them. But once you find one, you're going to go back into game here, which, by the way, if you need to know where to get your seed number, just go to settings, seed numbers right here. And then here you have your spawner. Now you are going to have to clear out an area around here, 3 blocks above the spawner, 12 blocks below the spawner, and 13 blocks out in each direction. Let me illustrate for you. And that will look exactly like this. This is how big of an area you're gonna have to clear out. In our case today, I'm gonna build this above ground in creative mode. That way you could better see everything that I'm doing and have a better understanding of how to do it all. Okay, so giant box here. You're gonna pretend like this is our cave, except for the fact that it's missing a top, so I can easily get in and out and show you guys some things. So we're gonna start off from your spawner, just like we did when you carved this place out. We're gonna kind of base everything off where the spawner is, right? So we know the spawner needs to be far enough down below or above our spawning floor. That way nothing tries to spawn on top of it and it is not otherwise in the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And this next one down is going to be our floor. So I'm going to mark that with a magma block. Then we're going to go down 2 with hoppers because we're going to be sending items down, but we can take this one out. This is a temporary block, I guess. And we're going to put a rail with a hopper minecart on top of it. And we can just knock that rail out. It doesn't need to be there. This is going to be our item collection system. Okay. Our floor is going to end up being right here. I'm just going to kind of mark it off. And then our beds are going to go on this level. So I'm going to get the beds in first, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a little loop right around here. And I'm going to place beds around that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And before we add in more beds, let me explain how this is going to work really quick, because this is actually really important. The requirement to spawn iron golems is that you have a village, and that village consists of at least 20 beds and at least 10 villagers. For every 10 villagers that you have in the village, 1 iron golem can be alive. So 10 villagers, this would be all that we can have. And once it dies, a new iron golem can then take its place. But the way that the game works is an iron golem might try to spawn right now, and that spawn will fail because this one is still alive. So if we increase to 20 villagers, then we can have 2 of them. But it's still possible for more iron golems to try to spawn. So if we have 30 villagers, then we can have 3 alive at a time. This is actually normally good enough. The issue with this farm, and the only real issue with this farm, is the iron golems, they die a little slow. Usually for iron farms, we use lava, and lava kills iron golems a lot faster. We're going to have some help from zombies in a little while, but we don't have that help quite yet, and that help is going to be inconsistent at best. So my recommendation for you is going to be to have at least 30 villagers, although you can have less if you want to. The farm's just going to be slower, but ideally you're going to want to have 4. Now the reason we have 5 right here is because I spawned in some of these on my own, and they're not counting towards the cap. But you can kind of see as they are spawning in that this is going to be a problem with how slow these guys actually end up dying. So being able to have 4 iron golems alive at a time is going to maximize our rates and get us the maximum rate that a single iron farm can do, which is right around 400 iron per hour. That's what we're aiming for here today. Now, getting 40 beds in here is actually going to be incredibly easy. I've already mathed it out for you guys. So go ahead and go out 2 blocks all the way around the middle beds that you've already put in. You can go ahead and you can fill in beds all the way around here. And then take 1 more row around just like this. And once we fill this in with beds, this will get us to that 40 number that we need. Once you're done with that, go ahead and take out all the blocks below here out, because you will get cats spawning on it if you don't. We don't want any cats. We're going to get rid of that possibility by just taking these guys out. Don't knock out your hopper right there, because if you do, you're going to mess yourself up. Hey, before we move on, I want to let you know that you can expand this to have up to 80 villagers. Don't do more than 84 because it'll break the farm. And you would just want to do this if you want more villagers for your trading hall. It's not going to really make the iron farm any faster at all. It's all about the trading hall. And all you have to do is just do like we did up here on this layer. Just do it down here by following the exact same procedure, and you'll end up with 80. So next thing we're going to do is we're just going to add in our little floor area where we're going to end up putting in our villagers down below. Now remember, we need to be at least within 1, 2, 3 blocks for a villager to be able to link to a bed. You see, I place villager down, and he gets happy particles to link to the bed. So this is the height that we need to have our floor. You, sir, you're excused. Now, what we don't want to happen is we do not want a villager to be able to sleep in one of these beds. So I'm actually going to completely block them off all the way around, just like this. And with a wall, remember this is our floor level, I want to do a wall all the way around. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our floor. Yes, it is sitting a little above here. I guess technically you could have not gone this far down, but it's fine. It's okay. I'm sorry if I made you dig an extra block down into the ground. Bruh. Once you have the floor in, now is the perfect time to bring in 2 villagers and give those villagers lots of yummy food. Potatoes or carrots are going to be best. You could do bread as well. Once these guys, detect the village, they're going to grab the food. Oh, it's right here. It's right. Go get it. Go get it. They're going to grab the food, they're going to eat, and they're going to start breeding. We're doing this part now because this is the part that's going to take the longest. Luckily for you, you don't have to manage it at all, really. They're going to... Can we hurry this along a little bit, please, guys? They're going to breed all the way up to the number of beds that you have. So we don't have to do anything special. They'll do their thing. We're just gonna, there they go. And we're just gonna leave them be while we set up all of our little stations in here for our little trading hall that we're doing. Next, what you're gonna want to do is set up the villager cells, okay? So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put up a little like 3x3 thing right here. And we're just gonna go ahead and make that 3 tall. And then we're going to set up cells that are going to equal a total of 40 slots here. And this is really easy to do. Go ahead and do 2 blocks out with the space in between. And maybe they're not cells. They're definitely not cells. They're 100% market stalls. Yes, you're going in a market stall. You're not getting locked in a cell, I promise. We're going to go ahead and place these just like this until we have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this one right here, we're going to skip. This is going to be a little doorway we can use to get in and out. And we're going to do another stall. And you'll see what we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times 4 sides is 40. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in. And there we go. We have 40 market stalls for our villagers. Now, before I move on to the next part down here, which is going to include workstations and that sort of thing, we have to wait, or we should be waiting, until all 40 villagers are fully grown up. And just as a little pointer to you right now, you cannot have any nitwits in here because they're pretty useless. They really won't. They're just a waste. They can't work. They sleep at the wrong time of day. They eat junk food all day. They're just not that great. So if you have any nitwits, just go ahead and kill them and let a new like baby villager breed. You'll know a nitwit when you see him. He's wearing a green suit when they grow up into adults. You can't tell while they're in baby form. In the meantime, we're going to move up above. Okay, so when it comes to this stall right here, we want to go 8 blocks out in each direction from the center block. We're not counting the center block. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we're going to do that on each side. This is going to be your lower level of the platform. Just go ahead and just fill it all the way in with blocks. And what you should end up with here is a platform that is 17 by 17 blocks across in each direction. Next thing we're going to do is from any point, go ahead and go up 1 and you go out 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which will take you to your wall. Go ahead and fill in this layer all the way around. Okay, next thing I want you to do is just go ahead and place 3 blocks in each corner. Next, we need to get in water, and you could do this one of 2 different ways. You could go ahead and just run a line of blocks right here and then use a water bucket, place 2 like that. You get an infinite water source in the middle, pick that up, and then just keep picking up your infinite water source and working it right the way down. In my case, I'm in creative, so I'm just going to cheat and do this and then knock out these blocks right here. Water in the corner, and that side's all done. Another way to do it is if you have a silk touch pickaxe and you get yourself some ice from wherever you can find ice from, just lay the ice around like that, put some up here, take a pickaxe and knock it all out. Now you're going to want to go ahead and get water on the other two sides as well. Now, once you've done this, this is what you'll be left with. There's just a single spot here in the middle where all the water comes to. This is going to push all of the golems, any cats, and any zombies directly to the middle here, where they will die via the magma blocks, and also the zombies and the iron golems will fight each other to kill each other faster as well. Also, didn't I tell you, nitwits, we're going to safely escort them from the premises. Next, we're going to go ahead and get a storage system set up in here. I'm going to keep things nice and simple. You could add in item filters and all that kind of stuff, but you know, the point of this tutorial is not the storage system. So we're going to keep this part kind of easy. We're going to go ahead and we're going to leave this one facing down right here like that. And then I'm going to put a temporary block right here. And then we're going to face one going like this direction. And then actually I'm going to put another temporary block right there. And we're going to face one like to the side like this, a hopper. And we're going to make a big circle with the hoppers, just like this. Nothing crazy, just a little circle with the hoppers. Boom. That's it. So now all of our items, they'll come in and they'll just go around in a circle like this, right? Next, we're going to actually set up ourselves some chests, and we're going to do that by placing them down one, like right here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 layers, just like this. We're going to do that in front of, I probably should have done it, started from this other side right here. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we'll do that on this side as well, the opposite side. And then we'll run hoppers down into these. And while it's a tight space, you can have a pretty nice little storage area down here. And then you could add in a crafting table and take your iron bars that you get, your iron ingots, and craft them into blocks and store them in here. Add in a little ladder right here to give yourself a nice, easy in and out, and your storage area is all done. Okay, now that all your villagers are grown up, takes a little while, but they'll get there, right? Now it's time to go through these last steps of easily getting all of the villagers in their slots, because we need these villagers to have workstations for this farm to spawn golems. You see, there's a requirement. Villagers, they have to work, or golems, they're not going to spawn. They don't provide security for free. They need these guys to work for the golems to provide security and spawn in. So at least 75% of your villagers have to have worked throughout the day for a golem to spawn. So since we have no workstations, we're getting no golem spawns. Let's go ahead and fix that. Now, this is your trading hall portion of things too. We're not going to go over trading halls in detail here. I just want to show you how to very easily sort these guys in this place that a lot of people don't show you. This is like a pro tip. This is a little life hack that you're going to enjoy quite a bit. When you're making a trading hall, you're probably going to have at least like 10 librarian villagers. That way you can get all of the important enchantments. So we're going to go ahead and we'll put down some lecterns here. Also, I highly recommend for any iron farm, you put down at least 10 smithing professions, because those 10 smithing professions, they will trade you emeralds for iron. It's a really easy way to take an iron farm and actually make it into an emerald farm. And then we'll mix in some other various ones too. Maybe we want some stone cutters for some masons to trade with. We want some farmers to get some golden potato. To get some golden carrots from, and maybe we want Fletchers to trade sticks with, or get tipped arrows and that sort of thing. So we'll go ahead and we'll place all these down. Now, the next thing, go ahead in front of all of your profession blocks. I should have done this before, but it's fine because our villagers are now getting in the way. Place blocks directly in front in a row in front of all of your profession blocks. Get out of my way. Okay, now once you have in all of those blocks, you're going to notice something. Your villagers, they're standing on top of their profession blocks. They stand on top of it, they look down at it, and that's how you know that that's the profession block for that villager. So, super easy. All we got to do is just walk in, push each one in, and put a couple blocks over top their head. And that's it. They're locked in. So we could very easily do this for all of them, but you need to make sure of one thing. Here's a little disclaimer, because you're going to mess yourself up if you don't do this. Make sure that the villager looks down at the block. Sometimes these guys will just wander into a cell without actually being linked to that block. That dude's not linked to that block. Be careful. Make sure you've specifically seen them look down at it, like this guy right here. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna push him in. This little trick, it works for every single villager profession. They will all do it. And one more pro tip, if they're not standing at their profession block, that has to do with the time of day in game. There's certain times a day the villagers will not like work. They will more congregate. So it may take, you know, a couple cycles to get them all in, but it's rather easy. Like, it's not very hard. It's just a little, like, just takes a little bit of time to walk around to each one that's looking at a block and push them in. That part is done. You can start trading with them, putting signs down to mark like what it is that they have. You could go in and grab your iron that like we have pouring in right now. Do you hear it? Do you hear it coming in? It's there. Yep, this is the first chest right here. Look, we're getting glow ink, we're getting poppies, but we have not set up one final thing, and that is to make sure that all of our spawner conditions are met and to get our villagers those maximum discounts. So if you are building this down in a cave, which obviously you are, you should not have any lighting up here at all. Oh, I don't even have a hold on, since we're in creative mode, I actually have to put a spawn egg in this, because here's the secret sauce and how this thing works. This is a zombie spawner. It will spawn zombies, but on Bedrock Edition, it does slightly more than that. It spawns zombie villagers as well. So first things, make sure there's no lighting in the area so your spawner is working. Second thing, make sure you put these 3 blocks on top, or I guess really probably technically, yeah, 3, because this is your like ceiling level right here. I've just taken the ceiling out for our display purposes. Make sure you have those blocks there so no zombies spawn and get stuck on the top. And these guys, they're going to keep spawning. They're either going to die of, let's call it semi-natural causes, or they're going to die by golem. Now, whenever a zombie villager spawns, actually gives the entire village a discount in the range of that big red cube that I showed you guys in the beginning of the video. Every villager that we have here is within that range, kind of. Technically speaking, if the zombie villager spawns at his furthest out point, he spawns about right there, right? Some of those villagers over here, they might not get them, but any discounts that the villagers get, they'll stick around for about 2 hours or so. And it takes roughly 10 zombie villager spawns to get you at max discount. So after you've waited here for probably about 30 minutes to an hour or so with the spawner running, what will eventually happen? Oh gosh, this is, oh no. Don't make this mistake. I have night vision on, so I didn't see that it was dark in here. Good thing all of our guys are safe. Oh man, oh man. Oh no. Okay, that problem has been solved. Maybe we need a couple torches in here as well. So basically, all you got to do, just to sum it up, is you have to make sure you're within the radius of this spawner working. The spawner has a 16 block radius around it in which it will continue to spawn mobs. So like, unless you get to like the far corners of your farm, like if you're in here and you're standing like way out here in the corner, it might not be spawning zombies, but anywhere else in your farm, it's going to be spawning zombies just fine. So stay in the area until you get those max discounts. And it looks like we've actually already gotten some. So we have had a zombie villager spawn in. Like I said, it'll take about 10 to get you the maximum level of discount that they can give you. Those discounts will last for about 2 hours, but every time a new one comes in, it'll like reset that timer for you basically. So you're going to have infinite discounts that you don't have to manually work for. There is one catch though. These discounts, they do not get quite as low as the discounts get when you change a villager to a zombie and back, but it's pretty close. You're going to have a few trades that aren't going to max out, but a lot of your important ones will. So just keep that in mind. If there's a couple villagers you want to get that max discount to, you may still need to convert them, but I think you'll find the discounts are good enough, more than good enough to make it to where that's not going to be a big deal for you. And to read a couple of your comments here, first, I want to read one from NR saying, I love this video format, extremely detailed and very well explained while actually being in the world and showing things step by step. Nicely done. More of this format, please. Thank you, NR. I do appreciate that. This is the format that I enjoy going with when I make tutorials. I don't just tell you place this here, place this there, count to 5, turn around, and then like that's it, right? I give you explanations of the mechanics, how and why things work. That way you understand when things go wrong or how to change things to your liking. And then I have a comment here from Terry Meek that I liked quite a bit. This is a good tip. This was on the slime farm video again. I put my rails on top of scaffolding. If the minecart ever stops, I just walk through the scaffolding and start it rolling again. You know what? That's actually really good advice. And I never even thought of putting minecart rails on top of scaffolding. You can pretty much bet for sure from now on, that's what I'm going to do. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments what you learned, enjoyed the most, or even give a helpful tip. If you would like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below and you will get access to our member only Minecraft servers that are playable from all devices.